to all free people in the world. The international community, including its institutions, led by the United Nations and Security Council, together with Friends of Syria Groups, and all Arab and Western governments have abandoned the Syrian people and conspired directly or indirectly to put down the Syrian revolution. They stood silent without taking any serious steps to help the Syrian people, but rather considered their own interests in our country and their desire to dominate. They have been using us as pressure cards. None of those mentioned rushed to stop the daily massacre that is taking place in Syria, despite all the sufficient evidences and dozens of relevant resolutions. Therefore, we appeal to all individuals, peoples, non-governmental organizations, unions, parliaments, and human rights institutions to carry out collectively their humanitarian duty to end the silence towards the Syrian struggle and prevent the most horrible crime of the 21st century, which has been taking place daily for more than 8 years. We call upon all of you to act immediately to stop the Holocaust in Idlib and Hama, where there are 4 million civilians still under fire and daily bombardment, with internationally prohibited weapons, and are living in very horrific conditions, even in war's term. Let us outcry together to stop the violence and the bloodshed in Syria and demand the prosecution of the criminals led by the fascist dictatorship of al-Assad and his Russia ally, who wants Syria to be the gateway to Russia's global domination, in spite of the fact it's flooded with our children's blood. We represent a revolution of legitimate rights, which should be guaranteed to every human being. We uphold the revolution's principles of free, democratic and civil country for all Syrians. We aspire to a country governed by law, social covenants that unite the people, and the contemporary constitution drawn up by the Syrian people and based on the fundamentals of this revolution. We thank those who participated, held set in advance, or offered solidarity to our campaign. We also thank those who support the Syrian people, morally or logistically, whether inside Syria or in the camps or in countries of the asylum. We all agree that being silent on a crime means you are somehow a partner in it, and the collective memory of peoples doesn't forget, and the history will always remind us of this complicit stance. We all believe that one day, come soon, all the criminals of Syrian catastrophe will be prosecuted and justice will prevail. Long live the revolution of freedom and dignity, empty stomach campaign.